school and I became an engineer. After becoming an engineer, I really liked engineering. I just hated having a boss. One day I was driving on PCH, Pacific Coast Highway. I'm looking at all these houses, and every house is $5 million, $10 million. All I wanted to do is just knock on their door and be like, what do you do? I want to do what you do. Screw passion, what do you do? So I found out all of these guys had their own businesses, so I said I gotta start my own business. So one day I was by a vending machine, and one guy was prospecting another guy for WFG. He was explaining the rule of 72. This guy was brand new. He just got started. He had no clue. He wasn't licensed. He was explaining the rule of 72 to somebody else. It was totally butchering it. And I heard it. And I went to the guy. I said, hey, can I come to this? They said, yeah, come. You're my guest on Tuesday night. So I show up. They introduce this guy. I'm thinking this guy owns the company. I'm like, oh my God. So this guy comes on stage, he's training, and throughout the entire presentation he's doing this. He's doing the presentation, explaining everything, and I'm thinking, man, what a courage this guy has. This guy has Parkinson's, and he's still doing presentations. And it wasn't until about a couple months later, I found out he was a brand new senior associate. That was the first time he was doing the meeting. And when he was scared out of his mind. But that's how I got started. They said, we might sit down with one of you guys tonight. I was like, man, it better be me. I fill it up, I'm like, God, please let it be me. So they do an interview. I do an interview with Michael Coleman. And I'm so grateful for Coleman. I'm sitting down with him. And at this time, I just did 7 interviews to get a job in the city of LA. So I'm ready for an interview, right? I got my questions ready to go. So he goes like this, do you have any question about anything you saw? I said, nope. He said, okay, I don't see any reason why we can't get you started. Man, I aced that interview. So, and I got started that way. And I've probably been the worst start in WFG. My first year, I was working hard and I made $8,500 my first year. As a matter of fact, really the only reason they put me up here to give you guys hope, just so you guys know, I'm just letting you know right now. Okay, so my second year I came to a convention, I decided to go all in. So I went all in, full time, crazy, going after it. 12 months later, full time, I made $5,500. I went down. Knicks went up, I went down. That's how I got started, but it was because of the great mentors that we have. You know, I was so grateful to meet Jamie and Sean, and they started coaching me. And then I met John Shin. Then I met Ed Milet. Then I met Rich Dolly. Then we found some of our best friends in the business. Last night, Andre won the MVP for EMDs. We have Binu Ariel and Barry Wong and Mr. Chris and Sonny Payne. And this business has completely changed our lives, but I gotta tell you what it was for though. And this is gonna be the theme of this afternoon as I bring these guest speakers up. Because a lot of times we see what they are right now, their numbers, all this stuff that they've done, but we don't know the story behind it, some of this stuff, some lonely moments. So I wanted everybody today to kind of give me sometimes a little bit of their lonely moments that where they wanted to quit. So as these guys come up here, I want you to pay attention to these little stories. When you see them, be like, what's that story? So I'll give you an example. This first champion that I'm bringing up, what an inspiring story. Patricia, you guys hear this story. Nursing background, okay? Started in 2019. 5 years in the business, 20 SMDs, 10 ring earners, $1.5 million in income. Is that pretty good? Yes or no? All of you guys see this, you're like, man, this lady must be made out of steel. But I'm telling you, let me tell you this. I said, give me a story. She said, I was 1 year in the business, and we haven't really started making money. We get an appointment, The appointment is about 2.5 hours away. I start driving. By the way, she just had a baby at this time. C-section, this is 3 weeks later. You guys with me so far? So she has a C-section, it's 3 weeks later. The appointment is 2.5 hours later. So many people, they'll be like, I'm not even going to do that appointment. So she's driving, she could have Zoomed, right? But she wanted to see the person because the group presentation. She shows up to the group presentation, people come in, nobody's interested. It's 10 o'clock at night. She has to go back, she's driving back, she's running out of gas. It's freezing. She tries to put gas back into her car. She doesn't, it's so freezing that the gas cap doesn't open. So she gets stranded on the side of the street. She's calling the husband's with the babies, not paying attention. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. How many guys would be like, man, I would have quit right there. And she goes back, gets fired up, and goes after it the next day. Is that a champion, yes or no? All right, everybody, can we stand up right now? Can we stand up and give it up for our first speaker? Champion Patricia. Let's stand up, everybody. Patricia, are you back there? Coming out? I'll keep going.
Thank you. Okay. First thing first, most thanks to the Most High God for protecting all of us. Besides all that is going on around, we are still alive and happy, right? So thank God. My other thanks also goes to the Home Office for not forgetting me this time too. Thank you so much. Other one goes to our various leaders, Daniel and